In this video, I will be doing a chat application where users can log in with their wallet and then they can create groups where they can chat in real time. And then we will add restrictions to the groups. So that, for example, if you create a chat group, you can say only people that have CryptoPunks can join my group. Only people that have more than 10 link tokens can join my group, or whatever condition you want. So that's going to be fun. Let's see how long time it takes. We're going to be using Moralis to build this. If you go and you log into your Moralis account, you'll see something like this. And so in this case, I will be doing it on testnet. I've already created an empty server here called Dropston Testing. And if you go to Moralis GitHub, you will find this boilerplate, vanilla boilerplate. So to make this video as available as possible to as many people as possible, I will be just using vanilla JavaScript. And then if you want, you can do the same thing, but with React or whatever you want. So I've copied this, I've pasted it into an empty file, empty website, like so. As you can see, I need to paste my Moralis app ID. So I go back to my Moralis account. I go to this Dropston Testing, which is the server I'll be using. I copy the server URL, like so. I copy the application ID, like so, and I save it. And as you can see, if I go now to my server here, to my dashboard, right, like so, it is completely empty. But now that I have this going, I save this, and then I go and I visit this website, which is, I'm currently running localhost, so I'll just bring it up like so. So as you can see, I have these two buttons, Moralis login, Moralis logout, which is the boilerplate code. This boilerplate code gives us the, it includes the Moralis script and the Web3 JS script, which is needed. Then this boilerplate has two buttons, Moralis login and logout, which we of course can see on the screen here as well, login, logout. And we tie the functionality to these buttons like so, where login function is like this and logout function is like this. I have to initialize my Moralis instance like so, and then I can log in a user, which is just one line of code like so, and I can log out the user also. So let's do that. I go here, login, logout. I open the console to see what's going on. This error is from some kind of plugin I have in my Brave browser, so ignore that. I click login with MetaMask and I have a user. And if I go now to my database and I refresh, as you can see, now we have a user. And the user has the address, this one, 5E3B. And as you can see, it is the address that I used to log in, 5E3DB, yeah. So everything is correct, everything looks fantastic. Next, I want to add a way to create a new group. So let's just add a text here that says create new group and an input with type text with placeholder group name. Let's see how that looks. Go back to website, refresh, yeah, create new group, and always ignore this issue. I have some this plugin here. Let me actually remove this plugin. I have this drawing plugin and it has some error. Yeah, so now there's no error. So create new group and group name, and of course we need to have button. So input type button and value create. So okay, we have the interface now for logging in, logging out, creating new group. I want to separate this. Of course, this is not a course in design. This is a course in creating. So let's see. HR should be horizontal line. Yeah, beautiful. And we have horizontal line like so. Yeah, so we have some UI separation. We have login, logout section. Then we have create new group section. And then we need a section with all the different chats and stuff like that. So let's create that. Once again, HR HR. Let's do an empty line. And here we will have, what we'll have? We will have a text that says join chat. And then here we're gonna have an empty div, chat rooms. It's just gonna be empty for now. Sorry, guys, like this. Okay, so, all right. So we have login, logout, create group, and then join chat. And actually, we can remove this. Beautiful. And so here the idea is that when we actually have new chats, when we have chats that people can join, it will be like a list here. But right now there are no chats. There are no groups. So this is what we're doing. And it's better to rename this to join group, or actually create new join group chat. Yeah, let's make it as create new group chat, like so. So create or join group chat. Perfect, guys. Let's actually add some logic to this. Now it's only UI. So we want to go to our code and we want to create a new async function that will be new group, new group chat, now that we're using that. And let's set this to button ID. So when this is clicked, we do new group chat. So let's see that it works. And by the way, let me know in the comment section if you like this kind of video where it's less edited, it's more that we do things in real time together. So yeah, as you can see now, I click create and it shows up. Very good, because there is some value to this. It's kind of like working together. You could probably do this while I do this also. We have this. Now I need to get the value here. So ID equal to text group name text, like this. So we do a similar thing. I need to get this thing by ID. Create new group with name. Let's see if we actually get the name. So here I'm getting the ID of the input field and I try to get the value. So let's say I want to create the link holders. Yes, so as you can see, we do get the name printed out here. Good. So now that I have this name, I need to create a new entry in the database. I want a new entry right here that says group chats, or like, yeah, chats. So you can go to, whenever you want to do something, go to the documentation. In this case, I want to add a new thing to the database. So I go to database, I go to objects, and as you can see, you do it like this. So I just copy it, I insert it here. In this case, in the docs, we show you how to create a new class called GameScore, and then we do a GameScore instance. In this case, I want to do a new class called chats, and then we do like this, and then we do chat.set name. So this is the, or let's actually set title. We set the title variable of this chat, and then of course let chat name be equal to this right here. And then we can say chat title actually. So chat title is equal to this, what we get from the input. And then we do chat.save. So yeah, let's see what happens. If this works or this doesn't work, the idea is now that we create a new chat in the database with the name that we entered here. So let's refresh and we say link chat only. So you can only be in this chat if you have link. So I click create and it says create group. Let's see, chat is not defined. This is the beauty of, see, big issue. This is the beauty of doing this kind of content where you get errors as well. Create. Yeah, so no errors, meaning that it was successful. If I go back to my database and I refresh, as you can see now I have chats. I have one chat and the title is link chat. So as you can see, Moralis creates by default object ID and the timestamps for when the object was created and updated, and the ACL, the permissions. And then I can set custom variables. In this case, I set the title here. Very good, guys. So now I can create different chats. Very nice. I don't actually need this. I can actually say here, console.log created chat with title. Chat title. Let's see how this works. I go back, refresh. Let's say hello chat. Create. And that's created chat with, yeah, perfect. I say Ada chat. You need to have Ada to chat here. And says create a chat with that title, and I go back. As you can see here in the title, you see the different titles. So let me just remove all of them, and let's create a new chat where we say Chainlink exclusive. So only people that have Chainlink can be here. Oops. Yeah, as you can see now I have only this one. Okay, the next step is to actually list the different chats here in this list. So now I have this chat right here in the database. I want to see it pop up in real time right here in join group chat area, where we can see all the different chats we can join. So we go back to our code and we create a new async function. And this is get group chats. So these are all group chats. And so we do, as always, when we want to find something that we don't know how to do it, we go to docs, we go to database. In this case, I want to do something in the database. I want to get all the information about all chats, and all chats are in the database. So I'm telling you how you should be thinking when you're working with a project. So you go to the docs, you go to database, and you go to queries because we want to find something. And here's how you do a query. As you can see, we have to extend the class again, like we did right here. And next, in order to do a query, we define a query like this. So I can just copy this. Query equal to new Moralis query, and then you put in what is the class you want to query. And in this case, I don't want to do anything else. I just want to do, because I have no other parameters. I don't want to filter. I just want to get all queries. So in this case, as you can see, we do the results like this. And then we do results, console log results. And we can write all group chats. Like this. Yeah. And this we can instantly run like this. So it gets executed when we go to the page. So let's see what we see. Or do you do like this? You define like this, and then, okay, let me just call it. I think I saw someone define a function and call it instantly, but let me just call it. Yeah, so as you can see, all group chats, and I can see one group chat with the ID 9PLY. And if I go to the chat database, you see ID 9PLY. Very good. And if I want to loop through all of them, I can do like this. I just copy it because it's the same code. We want to go through all the results. So as you can see, we loop through the results and we check the title. So I will just do like this. We loop through everything and then we do the title like this. So let's see what we get. Now I just get this. If I create a new chat, let's say that I have a chat called Aave exclusive, or yeah, anything. I want to create a chat only for Aave holders. I do create. And now if I reload, as you can see, I have Chainlink exclusive, Aave exclusive. I can do a new chat, whatever. I could create. And as you can see, it gets added to the database. I refresh, and now I load all of these chats. Very nice. Next is that we need to add all of them as a list here under join group chat. So that when we come to this page, we can see all the different group chats that we can join. To achieve that, we need to do a few things. Number one, in the HTML, as you can see, I have created a UL element, which is a list element, and I've given it ID room list right here. And then when we go to get group chats, I get that element in JavaScript. And then within our loop, as you can see, I create a new li element where I set the link. And the link in this case is going to be link to chat.html, which we haven't yet created, where an argument in the URL is going to be the ID of the chat. And then I, of course, also put the title, so that when we look at how it looks like now, you see that each title is here. And when I click on it, you see the link that gets generated is chat.html, and then ID equals to the chat ID. All right. So this is how it looks like. Let me remove this ugly chat. Yeah, let me remove these two ugly chats. Like this. So now I have only Chainlink exclusive. So when we click on this and we get here, here is where we will create a new HTML file, and here is where we will check permissions for this chat. That you can try to enter these different chat groups, but the question is, will you be let in or not? That will be decided in chat.html. So let's go ahead and create chat.html, new file, chat.html. So this file, chat.html, it needs the same kind of, let's see, let me remove these files. Chat.html needs the same structure. So it needs to have, for example, the same head. It needs to have a body. It needs to have the same script here to initialize. Script. Yeah, like so. And that's basically it. So let's just ensure that it works. Chat. All right, let's do like this. And then we go back to our page here. And now if I click this, as you can see, I get to the site that we just created. It says just chat. Also, I Googled how to get URL parameter, because as you can see now, we do have a URL parameter here. We pass the ID of the chat. So to get URL parameter, apparently we do like this. Like this. So let's see, URL params, and then we need to get ID. This can be chat ID, like this, and we can put it to the console. So now if I come here, is that how it works? Let's see. So I do params like this. Ah, okay. Life of developer, guys. Okay, like this. And then params. Chat ID. Okay. You're what the hell? Ah. Yes, okay, good. So now I get this chat ID in JavaScript. Very good. So based on this, we can now start listening to new chats, and we can actually publish new chats. Let's start with that. Let's start publishing new chats, new messages. So we're gonna create an input with type text, ID, chat input, like so. We're gonna have send button, like so. So let's see how that looks like. Send message. Like, okay, I can type things. I can send message. Let's see, good. So what happens when we click it? Let's borrow this. So when somebody clicks send button, we need to have send message function, which we're gonna have here, where we have the message. And the message, as you remember, it is this. Oops. Chat input dot value. So let's see. Let's say sending message. Like so. It says sending message good, and but I want to get the message also. Let's see, chat input dot value. Oh, see, sending message, and now I get the message that I write right here. Okay, very good. This works very nice. All right, so if message, oops, and let's ensure that the message is not empty, because I don't want to send empty message. So now we ensure that if I click empty, as you can see, nothing happens. I send console. And when it's empty, nothing happens. Okay, very good. So now we actually have to send the message to the database, which is very simple. We just go and we did chats like this. Just like we created a new chat group, we create a new message. So we extend message, we create message, like so. And here we can set message.sender and, message.set. And here we're gonna have sender. And who is the sender? Well, is the currently logged in user. And to get the currently logged in user, we do like this. Yeah, like so. And to get the, let's see, to get the address of this user, sending message from, let me just try how to get the user.get ETH address. So let's see. Sending message from, oh yeah, but this is the user anyway. 5 ETH, that's correct. And message currently is this object, yes. So we need to set the sender as this, because this is the user that is sending. Or actually, we don't want to set it here, because you can set anything here. The UI can send whatever it wants here, but we can fix it later. For now, let's set it here. Then we need to set the text. And text is gonna be the actual message. And then we want to set the group. Which group chat does this message belong to? And here we have chat ID. All right. Let's set, see, we have issue with the same variables. So let's just call this M. So M is our object that we're saving to the database. And message is the actual text of the message. Then also I've written this, that we print to the console, that we're sending this message from this address in that group. And next we have to ensure that the sender is set on the backend and not frontend, but that's for another time. So for now I refresh, as you can see, I can send message and I see sending this message from this address in this group. And then I can go to my database here and I can see all the messages being sent by whom, and the text and the group. Very nice. And as this video is getting a bit long already, I've done some things behind the scenes and you can see the full code in the description. But first and foremost, I did an init function where we do a live query. You know, with Moralis, you can watch when things are getting added to the database in real time. So we do a live query on the message class. And you remember that we do have that in our database. Let's see. One second, guys. Yeah, here. So we have the message class right here. And we can do a simple query, which is just a subscription, like so, where whenever a new message is created, we check so that the group of that message is the group we're in right now. Basically, it's chat ID. And if we are, we add that to our messages. And I've created this chat history right here. So this means that when I write, if I go, for example, here, and I write something, in real time it shows up. And if someone else writes something, in real time I get this message right here. As you can see, if I reload the page, I see all the message history. And that is because I do have get history function, which I also added. And it queries all the messages where the group is the group we're in right now. And then I just print it to the screen. So this is how easy that is. And of course, we can create other groups. I have another group right here, Chainlink. I go here, and here are my messages that are only about Chainlink. So these groups are separated. So guys, I think we will end the first part right here. And we will continue in another video. Let me, by the way, show you something. If I remove all messages, I want you to see that if I remove all of them and then I will go back and we refresh, then we go back to this one. So now both chats are empty. If I go to Chainlink and I write a message C1, for example, as you can see, it shows up. And by the way, other people can join this chat. Other people can already chat here. So you can try with different wallets. If I go to Ada, so you can see Ada has no messages, but I can write a message, for example, A1. I go back, I go to Chainlink. As you can see, C1, I can write C2. So Ada and Chainlink messages are completely separate. Let me tell you what kind of changes we have to make to this app to make it a real chat app, because still it's just proof of concept, but we can convert it into a real app with the following changes. So let me write the improvements right here. And if you want, we can implement them in the next video, or you can have it as a challenge yourself. So this is what we have to do. Number one, when sending a message, it has to be through Cloud function, because not everyone should be able to send a message. And right now, when we are sending a message right here, we do no checks. We do no checks. Is this a user that is allowed to send a message in this chat? Does the user have enough tokens to do it? We don't have this whole system of checking tokens, for example, but it's very easy to implement because all of the data is in the database. I mean, that's the best thing with Moralis, that I do see the ETH balance. Now, this wallet does not have any NFTs, but it would, if I would have NFTs, it would show up here as well as a table. So I do have the balance of the user already in the database, but this checking, when we send a message, we need to do some checks. And this can, for example, be done with before save trigger when a new message is being created. And you can read about triggers here in Cloud Code and triggers. You can see that we have before save, we have after save, we have before save, where if a message wants to be saved to the database, we can reject it if the user that sends the message does not have the proper tokens, for example. So this is an improvement we have to make in the next video, or you can do it yourself. And of course, when reading messages, we need to have roles. So when we do this live query in right here, when we do this live query, right now anyone can read, anyone can join any chat group and get all the messages that are written in that chat group. That cannot happen, of course. We need to have roles, and you can read about Moralis roles in the documentation as well. Here in database, we have roles. So these are the two things we have to do in the next episode to make this chat real, because here is also where we will check. Here is where we check so that user has X tokens. This is where the checks will be. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you see how easy it is to build things with Moralis, because you see, it's 30 minutes, basically no editing in this video, very, very small number of edits. And we've done a chat app that works. We have different chat rooms. You can join a room, you can start chatting, all real-time connections, and everything is done. So guys, smash the like, leave something in the comments, and I see you all very, very soon.